Not many footballers have made the journey from the UK to the Serie A, and some of them have done alright, but most of them haven't made a great impact. Here's a selection of the finest flops from the UK to the Serie A.
There's Walker. Nottingham Forest agreed to sell him to Sampdoria for £1.5 million. The move was a benefit to both parties, at least on paper.
And it's nice for a player to be leaving a club in such circumstances, because both sides are quite happy.
It was not to work out for Walker in Italy, as he picked up a nasty injury that lost him both his place in his club and international sides. He left after just one season. Denis. The £110,000 that Torino splashed out on loan was a record fee between English and Italian clubs at the time, and he would also break the same record a year later, joining Manchester United for £115,000.
Italy conjures up all sorts, doesn't it? You know, like lovely weather, and don't forget we were single as well, and you know, the food and the wine and all that.
He did score 10 goals in one season, not too bad, but nothing near what he became later on at Old Trafford. Sharpe. Sharpe moved to Italy in an attempt to once more ignite the fire that had once sparked so many excellent performances for Manchester United. However, it was not to be. He quickly put in a series of poor performances that resulted in him falling out of favour with the management and fans at the Luigi Ferraris. After just a handful of games, Sharpe returned to England. Greaves. He signed for AC Milan in 1961 at the age of just 21, and unsurprisingly, for such a young man at the time, he failed to settle. Although he did manage to score some good and important goals for the Rossoneri, Greaves was simply incapable of becoming at home in Italy and becoming a legend at the San Siro. Baker. Baker experienced a more turbulent time in Italy compared to Denis, and the main incident which stands out is the infamous car crash involving himself and Lowe, which left the striker in decent shape, but Baker very nearly lost his life and survived only through the work of doctors and surgery. Carr. As a youngster, the winger was touted as one of the finest in England, and big things were expected of him. He settled well and did a good job for Brian Cloug's Nottingham Forest for many years. Then at the age of 30, and with the best years of his career behind him, he decided to try and move to Italy and see if that could give him a good revamp to his career. 6 appearances in 2 seasons at Reggiana. Elliott. Elliott was a solid defender who was very popular with fans of many of the clubs he played for, and this was no difference in Pisa. However, he did not play to the standard that many would expect and know that he can do in Italy, and did not make as many appearances in his 2 seasons as fans would have hoped for. Robbie. Keane joined Inter in the summer of 2000 and was one of the most promising players to come out of Ireland since possibly Liam Brady. Having hit the goals to help Coventry survive in the Premier League, Inter splashed out £13 million for him. It was to be a horrible decision from Massimo Moratti. The striker struggled in Italy and could not adapt to the slower tempo of football compared to Britain, and also found the language barrier a problem during his time in the peninsula. Blissett had been one of Watford's finest forwards and was a goal machine for the club throughout the late 70s and early 80s. He convinced AC Milan to buy him in 1983. Signed for the hefty sum of £1 million, Blissett played in Italy exactly like a man weighed down by his large price tag. Some embarrassing misses, including a poor effort in the derby against Inter that he should have scored, highlighted his ineptitude, and although he did manage to score a few, it certainly was not the tally that Milan were expecting. Ian Rush. Yet another player to survive just one campaign in Italy before fleeing to a more homely country. Rush has scored throughout his career, and one look at his records at Liverpool will highlight this fact, but scoring goals in England isn't the same as scoring them in Italy. A great deal was expected of Rush, who was hoped to be the spearhead of a Bianconeri attack that would score goals to fire them to glory in the many years to come. He managed just 8 goals, disappointing for a striker of his high standards in that one season in Italy, and Juventus decided to get rid of him immediately and sold him back to Liverpool.
Ashley Cole. One of the best left-backs in the world during his time at Arsenal and Chelsea, Cole joined Roma in 2014 only to put together 11 appearances in 2 seasons.
And I'm not ready to to give up and just enjoy the life and sit on a beach and play. I come here to win.
He took his time at Roma a bit like a retired man on holiday and then ended his contract early to fly to Los Angeles.
So that was our list. Let us know what you thought about it. Did we miss anyone out? Let us know in the comments. Remember to follow us on social media, support us on Patreon, and well, it's all for now. Ciao, ciao.